Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's see what we got here. And I'm going to probably butcher all these words up because this is a Brasserie du Ciel Solstice de Hiver. And it is a barley wine style ale at 10.2% unfiltered. So it's got on the bottle 11.5 ounces. Government warning. And it's got it notched 1-8. So I'm thinking this is January of 2008. Is the beer that old? Is it really that old? That's what it's got here notched on the side. The month is 1 and the year is 8. And even and a lot of the European reverse a lot of the dating. Even if it was the 8th month of 2001, I really don't think this beer is that old. So I'm going with it's January of 2008, and we're in 2016. I'm really not sure if that's the correct dating, but that's what it's got notched on the side of the label here. They're doing it like the Sam Adams used to do their beers. It's got 0 through 9 and 0 through 9 again. And the notch is at 1 and the notch is at 8. So this could be a 2008 edition of this beer. Evidently I've had this beer for a long, long time. If it's a 2008 edition. And I can't even find it on... Beer Advocate has this beer listed. Rate Beer does not. And I even went to their website for the brewery, and it's not listed there. So I'm at a loss, guys. I really don't know. I'm not going to spend hours trying to search this beer out and try to find it. I type it into Beer Advocate, I type it into Rate Beer, and what comes back. So Rate Beer does not have it. It goes from Dieu du Ciel Cuvée. Then it goes the D, and this beer is not even listed there, so I don't know what's going on with that. So basically, I'm on my own as far as I'm concerned here, because Beer Advocate has this beer listed, but it's got listed at a 10.2%, which is what this beer is, 10.2% barley wine, and they've got an American barley wine, so. And Rate Beer has it, not even have it listed at all. Zip, nothing, nada. So I'm not going to base what I've read on Beer Advocate. We're going to go with what I think on this beer. And I already had a subscriber. They seen it in the fridge and they said, "When you going to do this beer? When you going to do this beer?" I'm doing it right now. This is an American style barley wine, 10.20%. And this brewery is not around here. They're out of Quebec, Canada, from what I have here. So this is a Canadian beer. And I'm a big fan of Canadian beers. I don't drink a lot of them because the imported beers are very pricey here. So another reason probably why I've had this in the closet and just have recently stuck it into the fridge to chill it down to review this. I thought I had maybe reviewed it earlier, a year or 2 or 3, maybe even longer down the road, but I didn't see that in there, so I don't remember. after almost 2,000 beer reviews. I'm an old guy. I forget a lot of shit. So if I review it, this is a re-review. If I have not reviewed it, it's a brand new review. That's how it works. Deal with it. Alright guys. It looks like a very nice beer. The Unibrew or Unibrow, the brewery up in Canada, makes some awesome beers. Probably one of my favorite beers out of Canada. The beers that those guys brew are very, very tasty. They're not cheap here. They're kind of pricey, but they make some delicious beers. So let's see where this one ends up. This is a little small 11.5 fluid ounces, not quite even 12 ounce bottle. So let's see where this one ends up. Commercial description on this one over at Beer Advocate, because Rate Beer doesn't have it listed there on the hind titty here, it looks like. It says here, the Noble Winter Beer is brown in color with flaming red highlights. It has a complex aroma of fruits, alcohol, and hops. Its taste is delicately sweet, and most barley wines are. And liquor-like hint of burnt caramel. It is a very bitter beer with aromas and flavors reminiscent of red fruit. The aftertaste is accentuated by the wonderful flavor of hops. So I don't know what hops they're using on this beer. I don't know what hops grow in Canada, or they're using hops, American hops, European hops, New Zealand hops, Australian hops. I have no clue, guys. I have no clue of what hops they're using for this beer. So let's get on with this one. Over to the food pairings for this beer, if I can get the freaking tablet to work. It says here, for the barley wine, it says cheeses are sharp blue cheddar, your more pungent cheeses, gorgonzola, Limburger. So it's a big beer, 10.2%. Not a massive monster beer, but it is a pretty big beer. And the glassware is pint, Becker, Nonic, tumbler, snifter. My favorite glass today, the solvent beer glass, and can be solid for long periods of time. And I don't think this bottle has any other dating on it than what I read you from the label here. What I'm seeing here says January of 2008. So it's been in the bottle for a long time. I think it's time to get it out of the bottle. What do you think? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it on. Alright, not a big hiss, and it's a screw top. So all you home brewers, this bottle is useless. Not a big fan of these type of beer bottles. Screw top reminds me of something AB InBev, Coors, Miller, or one of those shitty ass macro lager beer companies would use. So, not a big fan of the screw top bottle. About half a finger of head, just barely covering the top of the beer. And very brown in color on the bottom thin part of the glass. And through the top part looks pretty dark, but it is a murky red brownish color. Let's get a nose on it. Very sweet back end. Caramel, toffee, sweet malt. Brown sugar, maybe some candied sugar. Slight hint of some dark fruit, but not a lot right now. It's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. Let's taste it. Cheers. Very sweet. Very, very sweet on the back end. Big bitterness too. A little bit more bitter than I was anticipating. Caramel, toffee, brown sugar, like I said. Basically the same thing I got on the nose I'm getting on the taste, other than the big bitterness on the taste. Big bitterness on this one. They're trying to balance that sweet malt and the hops out here, but it is a little bit over bitter for what we're getting out of the bottle for the sweetness. Very nice though. It is very nice. I don't know if it's quite to the A category, but it does have a strong bitterness on the back end here. A little much on the bittering hops in my opinion. But a very nice caramel toffee sweetness to the beer. But it's been in the bottle for quite a while according to the date that I've got stamped on the side of it here. Wow. Well, it's right out of the fridge. Sometimes these beers change a little bit as they warm up. So let's let this warm up and let her taste it and have a sip or two or three, and we'll come back and do the final chug and grade on this one in just a second. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I've been sipping on this probably about 45 minutes or so. It's up to room temperature. Still got a very bitter backhand on this. Very nice beer, but I don't think it's quite to the A category, guys. Nice, sweet barley wine, but the bitterness is just a little overpowering for what I'm typically used to, and kind of disappointed because these guys usually do a pretty nice beer. This one is a little bit bitter on the back end. Not quite as bitter as it was, but still a little heavy on the bittering as opposed to what I'm known to get from a barley wine. Final chug. Very decent though. Very decent. Definitely above average. But not quite to the A category. To me guys, this beer lands probably in the 7, which is a B+. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, it'd probably be an 88 or an 89, somewhere in that area right there. But decent. For 10.2%, very well made beer, but not quite to the A category in my opinion. Just my opinion though. You may think, oh man, this is a great beer. It's an A beer. It's 8 or a 9 or even a 10. But I've had better. So kind of disappointed in the screw cap that's on this, and the dating they got on this. This may be a 2008. I may have bought this many moons ago, and had it in the closet before I put it in the fridge. So it's cellared okay, but heavy on the bitterness on this one to me. If you like that heavy bitterness, you may, like I said, you may say, oh no man, you're crazy. Just my opinion guys, just my opinion. I'm going to give this the 7, which is the B+. 88, 89, somewhere in that area for me. Over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says it's 88. I'm pretty much in line with that. And like I told you earlier, Rate Beer doesn't even have this beer listed. I can't find it. And I went through everything that this brewery has got, and it's not even listed here, guys. Don't know what to say. Seems like these guys would have something listed for this beer, and they don't. So, and I usually get a subscriber saying, "Oh, this is where it's listed," or something like that. We shouldn't have to jump through hoops to find out where this beer is. You should be able to type in the name of the brewery and find that beer somewhere in their list, and it's not there. So with that being said, if you've had this one from them, this is a Canadian beer, Dieu du Ciel. This is their barley wine. This is their, and I'm probably going to butcher this up, Solstice de Hiver, or Haver. Solstice, SOLTICE_D_HIVER. So very tasty. I don't remember, it's been so long ago, I don't remember what I paid for this beer, guys. If it's in the $2 to $3 range, it's worth it. It's worth picking up. But if it's more than that, it's probably not worth picking up. There are better American-style barley wines made than this that are in the A category, and not quite so much bitterness to go with the beer. So, very tasty though. I enjoyed it. A nice, they all can't be A, guys. They all can't be A's. B plus for me on this one. B plus. So if you've had this one from them, let me know what you think. I enjoyed it. That just sounds like it's quite to the A category. So if you think different, let me know what you think. And come on back tomorrow. Let's see what we can dig out of the fridge. We're digging some of the old stuff out. See you then.